Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw for week 51, another 7 curious, interesting things I saw last week. So as ever, let's crack on. First one is nanobots or swarm nanobots. So well done to Haeyoung University, South Korea for this one. What they've done is they've created swarms of smart nanobots. Now the reason they're smart is they can do interesting things. They can push things over, they can roll balls about, they can, this is tofu by the way, through a tube. They can remove blood clots from arteries, I guess that's what that one is. And they can also make or break electrical contacts, i.e. they can make mischief, which is great. But this is kind of how they work. They rotate. So they're tiny little cubes of magnetic material. And depending on how you put those cubes together is how you can get them to react. So this one is a whole stick of them. And therefore, if you twizzle that, the magnetic field, you can get it to walk and get it to climb up things. And this is how they work. So there are 3 types of these little magnetic kind of clusters. And how you put them together is really what they do. So there you go. I mean, the ultimate goal of this one is maybe using something like medical. So you inject these into your body and you then put yourself into a magnetic field. And depending on what type of these little things, it'll spin or it'll jump or it'll move about. And you can move clots about in your body and that sort of thing, which is good. Excellent. This is potentially the future of renewable energy storage, and this is a new type of battery which is twice as efficient as lithium. So it could also save the whole world from lithium mining and that sort of stuff, because it only uses boric acid, which is relatively inert, kinda. Well, compared to lithium, shall we say. So this is a thermal energy storage device, and as the name implies, it takes electricity and it turns it into temperature stuff. So it melts some boric acid and you can recover the heat put into that and turn it back into electricity. That's called a Carnot battery, if you did not know. So this is called Trimodal, which is super efficient. So it uses the initial bit of electricity to turn the boric acid into warm boric acid. It then has a chemical reaction, which that can be recovered as well. That's 2 modes. And then the third mode is once it is actually a liquid and the energy goes into it, it then obviously can store that up. And then on the way back down again, everything up to the chemical reaction, it then can recover. The chemical reaction reverses, it can recover that, and then obviously as the boric acid cools down, it can recover that as well. So it's super efficient. And obviously with renewable energy, when the sun goes in or when the wind stops, then what do you do with the energy? Well, you stick them into one of these things and you might then solve the world's energy crisis, plus lithium mining. This is a long volumetric video, and this is a bit of a breakthrough in allowing this to actually happen in real time. So this is volumetric video. So a piece of video is generated, and generally what you would do is you would then have lots of cameras at lots of different angles and generating these volumetric pixels. This actually just uses 2D, so it uses 2D input, ideally multi-views. And then what it does, it turns it into this explorable real-time piece of video. You can stop, start, look at it from any angle you want. Now, where this is really interesting, it not only uses the new latest whiz-bang rendering techniques, Gaussian splatting, but it also uses that Gaussian technique to optimize where it needs to put the data. So it's a little bit like MPEG or JPEG, I guess, but for volumetric 4D, as they call it. So when it flips the view just in a few seconds, you'll see that's the depth map, and then you'll see where it's actually starting to encode the bits that it really needs to talk about. So only the bits that move, it over indexes, which is why it can then do it in real time where other models will run out of memory quite quickly. So that's quite interesting. This might be coming to an interactive TV near you soon, or a mobile device, because it can probably run on that soon too, which is very good. If you're into trends and what's happening in 2025 and the predictions, then your luck is in. So well done. There's 56 of these all in one place on a Google Drive. So thank you to Katie for pointing this one out to me. I saw these last year and they were really good. So I spotted the Dulux one, which was in last year's as well, just because I want to know what the colour of next year is. Colour of next year is a nice bright yellow, by the way, if you're interested. That's according to Dulux. So look out for that one. But if not, this is all media, this is marketing, this is tech, this is pharma, this is food, this is all sorts of things. So if you're interested in trends, then check out the link below, and they're all in one handy dandy place. So this is irritating only as much as there were 2 press releases in 1 week, which must have been irritating for the people behind each one of those. However, this is all about turning 2D images into 3D spaces. So you start with one single image and you can then generate explorable interactive 3D spaces. Here's GenEx's version of it, for instance. So you start with one single image. It will then figure out, if you then turn around, it then generates what it should be in every single direction. And it keeps aware of the space you're in. And what that means is if you then generate a single image, it generates a view. You walk through that view, you go down the street and you turn left and right and left. if you then turned back round again and went, right, left, right again and got back to the same place, it would look the same because it's keeping this kind of mental model of where it's at. So the world makes sense, which is really interesting. So this could be the future of Google Maps. It could also be the future of gaming, for instance. And likewise, if you just want to bring your photos to life to remember when you went to Magaluf or wherever you went to. So really interesting. So check those out. This is GenEx's version I've got on screen, but there's also World Labs came up with a really good one this week as well. Have a look at that. Just a quick mention to YouTube. They just added a setting. It's kind of hard to find, so I've recorded how you find it on the screen if you're interested. But they've added a setting because they are now allowing third-party companies to train from your videos. Luckily, this setting is off, so this is an opt-in if you want to do it. However, there are 18 companies that they are allowing to train off YouTube data. They are along the top, so the people that you would expect, so Anthropic, Apple, Runway, Stability, for instance, Amazon, all the big people who might want to actually train on your video, and you can choose which ones you want or just all of them. I can't think of why anybody would actually want to do that, especially with the big furore going on at the moment with copyright versus AI training. But there you go. If you did not know about this, that's the direction that somebody like a YouTuber going in. They say it's obviously they just want to be open about what's going on, and they're protecting you. And if you do want to do it, you can. So there you go. No more underhandedness going on. There you go. Interesting. And finally, we have ChatGPT through the telephone. So this is 1-800 ChatGPT, only available in America. Obviously, a 1-800 number. Sounds a bit like that. So what you can do is you can just use your normal telephone, dial 1-800 ChatGPT or whatever the number is that's equivalent of that, and you can then chat using your voice to ChatGPT. You do not need any subscription, although if you do have a subscription, you can get a longer call. I think you get 15 minutes a month for free if you don't have a subscription. And other than that, you just have a chat with it. You ask it a question, it then talks to you back a little bit like a really good version of Alexa, or the Alexa we should have got. So there you go. It is also available on WhatsApp. So if you put it in your contacts and you then invite it to WhatsApp, you can just have a text call with it on WhatsApp, essentially using ChatGPT through WhatsApp, all on their card, basically. Again, probably 15 minutes a month for free. As I say, this is obviously a great thing. This is sidestepping the whole tech inequity. If you don't have a subscription, don't have the money, you can actually start using AI and get to grips with it. But likewise, it's allowing ChatGPT, OpenAI, to train on a new set of data for free, probably by unsuspecting members of the public. But there you go, 1-800 ChatGPT, like that. Hopefully that was useful. Hopefully it was interesting. If it was, give it a like, and I'll see you next week.